Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Six the Goddess. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shift. Coming to you guys with a video today about you cannot be in survival mode and be in your femininity at the same time. It's going to be a good discussion. So recently, it has come out. There is a man out of Florida that is about 60 years old and has just married his 18-year-old goddaughter or something of the sort. When I investigated into this and I saw the words from her mother and from her, I saw a very valuable lesson in our femininity that can be learned here. So we're going to go ahead and break this down. I'm going to show some of the video. I'm going to go slide by slide, step by step, and we're going to really break down some of the psychology here and what us as ladies can learn from this for ourselves as well as for our future daughters. Now, before we get started, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when I upload new videos and when I go live, because I go live very frequently. And please like the video. You know, we need that for the algorithm. Today's video is sponsored by godpeace.com. Godpeace.com provides organite pyramids, pieces of art like such that helps to absorb bad energy as well as EMF radiation. With so much Wi-Fi and cell phones, we really need that. I like to keep mine by my workspace, keep my mind clear, keep my energy clear. I will have their website in the description of where you can go to purchase yours, as well as a little discount code, get you a little money off, save you a little coins. Okay, shout out to godpeace.com. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so this story is going pretty viral. I'm sure a lot of you have already heard about it. It made me extremely sad because what happens is, this is why I wrote my book, The Black Woman's Ultimate Guide to Reclaiming Femininity. Because I said, you know what? We are inherently feminine as ladies. Some people confuse the two. They think because you are female that you are automatically in your feminine, and it is definitely two different things. For too many young Black girls, your femininity never is given the soil to grow, to flourish. This is why we have a movement now to reclaim it, meaning you had it before. It's something that is your birthright, and now you're going back to get it. This is why so many of us as Black women have to go through this process. Maybe our situations may or may not have been as extreme as this young sister, but it really speaks more so onto the mindset that we're on our own. A lot of young Black girls that step out of their feminine energy all have that same story. They felt neglected. They felt as though they were on their own, and it leads you down paths that can be unhealthy. Okay. If you are in survival mode, you can forget about being in your femininity. Okay, so this is why it's very important for us as mothers to protect the femininity of our daughters. That way they don't have to go through a recovery period. So we're going to look at the mother. When we look at the mother, a lot of why her daughter is moving the way she does will make sense to you. Okay. I warn you now, there is a lot of language in this. Okay. It's a lot of language. It's a lot of, some of this can be a little triggering and hard to hear. So I'm just letting you guys know, to just bear with me here, but we need to hear this. Okay. So let's, woo, I feel like we need to take a deep breath. Let's take a deep breath and let's begin.
So, my daughter and my husband married each other, right? I don't approve of that stupid ass, cartoon ass shit. And that's what the fuck I said. I ain't even go to that fuck ass shit. Mike, you know I fucked your ass in 2017 in my apartment in the motherfucking LP. When you was coming over there hard. Anybody who know me know when I stayed over, y'all seen that fake stank ass nigga the fuck over there. Okay? For a cell phone, $150. Okay?
All right, so now this raises a very good point in this. Okay, so as you guys know, here on this channel, I try my best to give unbiased content where we discuss both sides of the fence. Too many times we as women want to be team woman And we want to blame men for everything. And we forget that we are the catalyst behind a lot of our pain and a lot of our abuse. Pay attention here. The person that brought this man around this young girl is her mother. This young girl has been exposed to this man due to her mother tricking with him. Okay? Too many times it's protect us from men, protect us from men. Sometimes it's protect us from the women bringing these men around. This is a responsibility for us as women. You are responsible as a mother when you have children to be careful and vet who you bring around. The way she's talking about her own daughter is like she's talking about a enemy on the street.
I was working at Family Dollar and I need some extra money. So that's what that was about. I told this dumb, and then when she ran away when I stayed over there with my oldest daughter in Jacksonville, Mike was a main one talking about this my goddaughter, y'all help me find her. Y'all remember that shit? Y'all remember when I whooped Deja ass in that kitchen too? Like a 14-year-old little girl she was.
Pay attention to that too. She's talking about how she whooped her daughter. Now, y'all know how I feel. I tell y'all about that. Putting your hands on your daughters breaks them down a little by little. It is unnecessary. This is why I go so hard to teach us that tapping into your feminine energy literally is life-saving. It is literally a matter of life or death in us. Does this woman have a feminine bone in her body? Your femininity is a catalyst to healthy relationships, mothering, sisterhoods. This woman borderline looks like a butch lesbo to me. Ma'am, are you, ma'am? I don't, what are you? I don't understand. It's giving, very much giving masculine AF energy. And we see what positivity it leads to.
Yeah, y'all remember that shit. So, with that being said, that is my last time. Her name really is Deja Atkins. Like Davinia Atkins, mine.
Also notice that she is throwing her own flesh and blood under the bus. Why are you putting this girl's entire name on the internet? I want you to pay attention. There is no protection coming in any way, shape, or form from her mother. And then the next video, we are going to listen to the daughter side of the story, and we are going to see why this young girl is doing what she's doing. We're going to listen to a little bit more of this. We are not listening to this whole thing and putting this into our psyche, honey, but we're just getting a gist of where this little girl came from. This is why, as women, to do better and to heal, it's not all about just looking forward. A lot of the times you have to look backwards, okay? Because you have to look at the women that you have come from to figure out why you are having certain issues in the future. Let's continue.
She just got adopted in 2016, right before I came home. Okay, by Ashley Jackson, white chick. All right, so with that being said, Deja doesn't remember when she was little. She don't remember.
Hold on real quick. Is that a Black and Mild in her hand? Is all this going on with a wood tip wine, Black and Mild? Ma'am? Let us pray. Let us bow our heads. All right, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe it froze. Maybe it was so much discussed that the whole system was like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and head out, okay? Now, so she mentioned how her daughter had to be adopted. So this is what happens. Young Black girls be going through stuff like this at home. Then they go to school, they're out and about, and people call them bad, call them this or that. This is what we have to grow up with. Where is this girl's biological father? Okay. This leads into the other problem we have as a community, where too many of our men father their children based upon how they feel about the mother. I can only imagine that whoever this girl's biological father is wants nothing to do with this woman's mother. But unfortunately, what ends up happening is the kids become neglected. Where is the father? Do y'all see how these issues build up? This is why it is not fair in 2021 to say, these Black women are so masculine and y'all so this or that. Listen, we have to look at the past. We have to look at how we got this way. Having a mother like this puts you in survival mode off rip, okay? How can a young girl develop her femininity? It's impossible. You cannot do both. So now let's go ahead and look at the daughter and let's hear her side of things.
I can't go on my shit because some ignorant ass hoes got me fucking blocked for 30 days. So I'm facing.
Now, I forwarded to when she began speaking in this video, but in the very first few moments of this video, she is visibly pregnant. I just want you guys to keep that in mind. And she is not pregnant with her first child. Let's continue.
Right now. But since y'all want to go on his page, we just gonna settle this shit now. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done with this shit and let y'all little ignorant ass, no class ass hoes talk after this shit. Me and my husband, we're married. Me and my husband ain't going nowhere. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't give two fucks at that, not even one, about y'all opinions.
Let me stop here for a second. This is what happens when you have generational curses. This girl is 18 years old. Okay, at 18 years old, you have not had enough life experience for you to come off as this angry. Okay. When you do not heal the feminine in each generation, what happens is each generation passes down more and more trauma, more and more anger, and it gets worse and worse and worse. Baby girl is 18. If you listen to how she's talking, you hear her mother's tone and her mother's thoughts in her speaking. Pay attention. Listen to how this girl is talking. Keep in mind, this girl is 18 years old.
Y'all on here talking about, oh, I'm just stating my opinion. I'm just stating my opinion. I'm just stating. It don't mean shit to us. So why the fuck waste your time and energy and your motherfucking time out of the day and your life to sit up here and keep on saying it? That's your opinion. We don't care. At the end of the day, everything is done. We're legally motherfucking married. I'm 18. I'm grown now. Talking about, oh, you just a baby. I'm 18, bitches. I moved out my mama house when I was 16. 16. Fucking 16. What did I do? Get a job. Pregnant and all, working. Pregnant. Fucking working. At 16 with no motherfucking body. I ain't had nobody. My mama was a druggie.
Pay attention. You heard what young sis said. Okay. A lot of this stuff, this is why I don't believe in just condemning young girls to hell. Talk about they fast and they acting up. Let me tell you something. No young girl wants this. No young girl wants for this to be how she has to operate. This is desperation. This is survival. Listen to what she's saying. I've been on my own since I was 16. First of all, sweetie, that's only 2 years. First of all, sweetie, you're 18, so don't make it seem like I've been on my own since 16. You've been out here for so long, sweetie. But again, you young, so I understand why you're talking that way. I'm going to let you live. But sweetie, now it ain't been that long now. You know what I mean? So don't say it like that. But listen to the cries. If you do not sit and examine this only will progress. Because now, what if she's pregnant with a young girl? What do you guys think happens with her daughter? Everyone is just coming at her like, you're nasty and how could you do this and this, that, and the third. Are you not hearing what she's saying? What young girl would choose this? This is not her choice. This is a desperate form of survival. She's saying, I had no one. My mom was not there for me. I was on my own. This is how we lose our femininity. Now, I'm going to tell you how this works differently with young girls of other races. Okay. And I can attest to this because when I was in high school, my mother was very sick. I had a lot going on at home, and it was giving me issues at school. I was getting into trouble. I was in the administrator's office every other day getting a referral, and they would just continue to suspend me, write me referrals, put me in ISS. Nobody once said, maybe we should look into the home life. Maybe we should ask some questions on what's going on. Why? Because we as Black women are already perceived as being angry, as being violent. This is how we all have responsibility to each other as women. This is why we should be focusing on ourselves as women. If I'm a young girl in high school, this is a young girl just turned 18, and the world looks at them like, what's your problem? What's wrong with you? What's wrong? No one sits and looks at the reason behind it. Now, if this was a young white girl, let a young white girl be acting up. They're getting her therapy, counseling. The administrator is going to say, Sarah, she's going through a lot right now. Her parents are getting a divorce. There's a lot going on. They are comforted. You see what I'm saying? We have seen misbehaved young white girls get signed $1 million deals, become famous on Dr. Phil crying and everyone patting them on the butt, talking about, oh my God. The reason why they are able to get that treatment is because their women in their racial group, their mothers before them, okay, have put on and embraced their feminine energy. So now society, when they perceive the children of these women they perceive as feminine, society is more likely to assist that young girl. This is why the journey to femininity is different for us than it is for them. The world stops, drops, and rolls for white women's tears. Black women's tears, it's what's wrong with you? You'll be all right, pick yourself up, you'll be good. Okay? Some people may not understand what's the big deal. What's the big deal? Y'all too sensitive. So you saying that you women, you want your feelings to be considered, and you women, you are worried about who feels bad for you and this and the third. Adoration, protection. These are the things that fuel your femininity. Women must have these things to be in their feminine. Yes, it is that serious. You don't have to understand it. Some women are more detached from their emotions than others. That is totally fine. You don't have to get it. It doesn't have to make sense to you, but it's the way it is. And now look who comes along giving her the adoration. This big, old, fat, nasty, disgusting old dude. Okay? This is why we have to have that responsibility to set our daughters up for better than this. Let's listen to a little bit more.
Nobody, never had nobody. I'm not saying this to show to have no sympathy or looking for sympathy.
Look how she knew subconsciously. Man, this goes so deep, it's just ridiculous. Look at the next thing she said. I'm not saying this for no sympathy. This is how the psychology works in young Black girls that causes you to go deeper and deeper into a masculine energy, because the masculine energy is more of the energy of, I have to save myself because no one's coming to save me. That's something that is normalized for men. Men understand that. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear what y'all got to say. They understand that. Okay. That is not how it is supposed to go for us. So the young sister subconsciously is crying out and letting it be known, I don't want no sympathy, but baby girl, yes, you do. And subconsciously, she knows that her pain will be taken as, oh, just shut up. You want some sympathy. You want someone to feel bad for you. Let's pay attention.
Nobody sympathizing with me. This is not what it's for. I'm just letting y'all know that I don't give a fuck about y'all opinions. It don't mean shit to me. It don't, because at the end of the day, everybody have a life to live. Okay, so what? He's 46, not 50. Thank you. He's 46. Half of y'all motherfucking mammies he probably fucked half of y'all motherfucking peoples.
Now, see, that is a sign of projection and hurt there as well, because the reality is that he slept with your mother. So do you see how the young lady is having to, in order to cope with everything that has going on, in order to combat the fact that I know in her psyche, she knows this is not it. She knows. She projects the things that have happened to her as being the issue that other people have. Oh, y'all probably mad because he probably slept with half of y'all people. No, young lady, he slept with your mother. But when a woman is in desperation, survival mode like this, these are the lies and projections you will tell yourself to get by. Let's listen to a little bit more.
Finally fucked your mammies, and you got y'all daddies mad, and some of y'all motherfuckers mad at him because he on his shit and we both on our shit. And the fuck, y'all just mad because I'm happy. They always gonna be happy. No, y'all hoes thought that I wasn't never gonna be shit because of my past. That's what the fuck y'all thought, and I proved y'all wrong. That's why y'all hoes really mad. But at the end of the day, that shit ain't even worth it, because at the end of the day, I'ma do me. We gonna do us. I'ma continue wear this motherfucking rock on my finger, and I don't give a fuck what a bitch gotta say. I don't. Because
Okay, sweetie. All right, baby girl. We hear you loud and clear. All right. See, the power of the feminine is to multiply. Okay. So you have to look at what you are feeding your feminine psyche. If you are feeding your feminine psyche desperation, survival, that will only be more of what your psyche will produce after that. Okay. What's done is done. There are certain situations where no one can save the world. Nobody can change it. And we understand that. These are one of those situations. But what we can do is learn from it and understand how we can ensure that our daughters and our future daughters do not have to end up turning to something so desperate as this. All right. We cannot downplay the importance of protecting the femininity in our daughters. Again, if we protect it, we do not have to reclaim it. We do not have to fight it back. If our daughters have to go through everything that we had to go through, we have failed as women. Let's start taking more initiative to hold ourselves accountable and look at the parts that we play in things so we can move accordingly. When it comes to the men, the only thing that's going to keep men in their lane is each other. All we can do is express what we need, express whether we do or do not feel safe. But when it comes to enforcing this is not necessarily something that is within our reach and our hands. But what we can do is not deflect and put everything on someone else so that we can start doing what we need to do to stop situations like this from happening. My heart goes out to this young sister. Okay. If you are a young sister like her or others, I know growing up, there was times where I wish that I had someone that I could go to, that I could relate to, that I thought that was, on my level, where I could go to for advice and for counseling and for mentorship. This is why I do what I do. And I'm seeing more and more sisters doing it as well. That is what you're supposed to do. If when you were a young girl, there is someone or something that you needed that would have helped you, it is your job to grow up and be that to another girl. Okay. Let's take accountability for the part that we play in this. When it comes to generational curses, those are coming for us as women from the women before us. Y'all, let's do better. Let's take responsibility so that we can avoid this from happening again. You remain in your feminine, you give your feminine space. Your femininity will produce abundance. You can say your affirmations. All my needs are met. I attract abundance frequently, easily. Get out of survival mode. Get out of survival mode so you can be out of it. Your daughters can be out of it, and your daughters after that. If you do not take the steps today to do better, us as ladies, this is what it will lead to. Okay? There is no room for survival and femininity at one time. You have to make a decision. So let's make sure we're making the right ones. Okay. This made me very sad, but I'm sure that we can we're not going to just look at this young girl and say, ill, she's gross. How did she get with this man? Always look at the women she came from. More of us have to be aware of that. Okay. Let's do better. I appreciate y'all for watching the video. Again, please like the video. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more lessons in our femininity. And you all have a good one.